So what does it take to launch a book so big you've got world record judges literally on standby? Okay, let's really dive into this. Because, entrepreneur Alex Hormozi, he didn't just launch a book. Oh no, he launched this massive multi-million-dollar event all built around a system he calls money models. And the goal? Well, it was anything but modest. We're talking $100 million. Yeah, that was the actual sales target from this one single, massive, live-streamed event. But it wasn't just about the sales. The ambition was insane. He said, we're going to try and break not one, but 2 world records. And he wasn't kidding. He literally had Guinness World Record judges right there on stage to make it all official. So right from the get-go, you knew this was going to be a massive spectacle.
Okay, and that brings us to the big question, right? The whole point of this explainer, really. The ad spend alone for this thing was over $4 million. So how on earth does a business just front that kind of cash for a launch? The answer? Well, it gets right to the very core of the problem Hormozi says he knows how to solve.
So to really get what's going on with this launch, we have to first understand the problem he's tackling. And believe me, it's a problem that plagues pretty much every single business owner out there.
And the scale of this problem, it's just staggering. According to the research he presents, a whopping 82% of businesses, they don't fail because they have a bad product. And it's not because they aren't working hard enough.
Nope. They fail for one simple reason. They run out of cash. It all comes down to a cash flow crisis. Think of it like a car engine. It doesn't seize up because it's out of gas, it seizes up because it's out of oil. The cash is the oil that keeps everything running, and that is the core crisis he's going after.
So, if running out of cash is the disease, what's the cure? Well, for Hormozi, the answer is something he calls the money model.
Okay, so here's the core idea. And this is really important. It's not about having one single killer offer. A money model is a whole sequence of offers. And it's all engineered so that the money you make from one customer is enough to go out and get 2 more. See how that works? It becomes this self-funding engine for growth. In this system, it works in 4 key steps. First, you've got attraction. That's just about getting the customer in the door. Then, bam, you hit them with an upsell to get them to spend a bit more. Now, if they say no, that's okay. That's where the downsell comes in, to monetize that no. And finally, you have continuity, which is all about getting them to buy from you again and again. It's a whole system designed to get the absolute most value from every single customer.
All right, so that's the theory. But how does this actually work in the real world? Let's take a look at a perfect example from Hormozi's own business history.
Okay, check this out. Let's look at his old gym business. The standard way of doing things, what he calls the bad model, is to offer a free trial, right? But you lose money up front, you're just crossing your fingers they'll convert later. It's just a slow, painful cash burn. But Hormozi's good model, it was genius. It was a win-your-money-back challenge. Customers paid the full price right at the beginning for a transformation program. If they actually hit their goal, great, they got their money back. And the result for the business? Immediate, massive cash flow. Cash he could then pour right back into ads to scale up and open new gyms super fast.
And here's the key insight. You really have to get this. Nothing about the actual business changed. The service was the same, the equipment was the same, the trainers were all the same. The only thing that was different was the money model. And that one simple strategic shift, that was the difference between just struggling to get by and seeing absolutely explosive growth.
Okay, and this brings us right back to where we started, that insane multi-million-dollar launch event. So it really begs the question, doesn't it? How did he manage to pay for a $4 million ad campaign before the main product was even out?
And the answer is just, it's so clever. He used the very system he was selling. The launch itself was the money model. It was a perfect, real-time demonstration of his own concept. See, he didn't need $4 million just sitting in the bank. He just needed enough cash to get that first wave of customers in the door. Then, the money from those sales paid for the ads to get the next wave of customers, and so on and so on. It created this amazing self-funding loop. The launch was literally paying for itself as it happened. And the offer itself was engineered perfectly to keep this cycle going. It was basically this. You make a donation that works out to about $6,000, and in return, you get this just overwhelming mountain of free value. We're talking entire business systems, AI tools, workshops, the whole shebang. The value was stacked so high, it was designed to be a complete no-brainer for his audience.
So now that we've broken down this entire massive launch, what's the real takeaway here? What's the big lesson we should all learn from this?
All right, let's just boil it down to the key points. First, and most importantly, cash flow isn't just important, it's survival. Second, you can totally transform your business just by changing how you sell, even if you don't change what you sell. And the big goal? Get every new customer to pay for themselves and for the next customer. And finally, remember that a smart sequence of offers is always more powerful than just one great offer. And that kind of leaves us with one last really interesting question to chew on, doesn't it? When you look at this whole record-breaking thing, what was the real product here? Was it the system he was selling, or was it the brilliant business model he used to sell it?